A very warm welcome to all of you. A very good afternoon too. We represent a company called Kochar Infotech. My name is Swapon Adhikary and I've got my colleague Tarun Jain with me. Our profile, I'll just take a small slider on what we do. We are a company with a bunch of passionate people, and our major drive is just innovation, and that's where we are moving ahead. We've been a company we've grown from a 4-people company to today a 5,000 people, and we've been constantly innovating, and that's have been putting us on the drive. With this, I also take the opportunity to thank the juries for giving us an opportunity last year, and we've been awarded as again the innovative company. That's how we've been again thankful to hear and present ourselves this year too. A short snippets, like when we've been here with 15 years of experience in data services, 7 years experiences in mobile data services. We've been one of the largest team of more than 5,000 people more in wireless data, grown from again a 4 people. That's what I share with you. All these calls, all things which is what we've been doing is we've been listening to consumers. We listen to almost around about 150,000 consumers a day, and that's where we build solutions. I think I'll not take more. I hand it over to Tarun. These are the consumers what we have. We serve all the telcos in India, international also, and I'll straight, because as there is a complex of time, we'll just hit on to all the challenges what we have. Over to you, Tarun.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Tarun. I'll take you through what's the real challenge about mobile data services. So, capacity is increasing, new technologies coming in, new operating systems making it more complex than applications. And then people want to do more things on that. So it becomes a very big challenge to make sure we use all these resources and make sure the consumer is able to do it and use the real potential. We being the part of the call centers, we understand what kind of queries, what kind of challenges people ask for, and you need to have an integrated solution to make sure we are able to answer them. Because it's, when you see mobile data, it's internet, and internet is information. And that's the way I would say it is a cheaper way other than the PC to get that much information. So what we do is we make sure we make tools to enable customers they can get information on their mobile devices as easily as possible. So it is an integrated solution. So like device management is the one. And then what we do is we have got tools for contact center, for as self-services, and for retail people. So in contact center, it's automatic and remote and manual. For self-service, it's a web-based tool or an IVR-based tool. Retail, it's a mobile app. The guy can have the mobile app and all the information is there. So for contact center, it's the OTA platform, and there's a mobile device management platform. Then device simulators. So the integration is about having the same content on different channels and making sure there is the delivery is in a same way. So I'll take you through Nomax. So the current challenge is people call in having a new device with them, and they call in what to do. Every day new devices are coming in. There is no hands-on experience with the guys who are taking the calls. They would not have seen an iPhone 4S to a Lava or a G5. So what do you do? How do you make sure you are able to train them? And you can't invest that much on getting out devices every day and every day training them. So, and it's not only about normal internet settings, it's about advanced settings, to email settings, to network selection, to video calling, to using different applications on devices. And the other thing is, what is the basic capability of the handset, what the guy is having. Another is, if we don't give this much of information, subscriber has the internet connectivity, has the phone, but doesn't use it. So what we do is we make handset simulators. So there is a step-by-step visual guide which helps the customers to make sure they are able to do things. And the support, when the customers need support, is when the handset is new with them. And when the handset is new with you, or you don't know the menus, so telling people what to do, do this, becomes a challenge. So I'll take you through a small demo of it. So what happens is when the customer calls at the call center and says, I've got a Samsung Note. So we being the part of the contact centers, we understand what kind of queries people ask. So all these queries are very mobile data centric. And suppose somebody says, I want to do email settings. So there is a set of instruction and there is a visual. So now you see the Gmail is highlighted. So what happens is the guy can say, you will find this icon here. And the guy who's supporting also knows, yeah, where it is. So the guy who's telling is confident enough to tell him, oh, you do it like this. And after 2-3 interactions, the customer says, yeah, he knows my phone. That's when you give a better customer experience. Another is you are able to enable the customers to do more things. And that's when he can... So the step-by-step guide. And the other utility what we have done is you can send the settings over email directly or over SMS.
This also reduces the talk time of the consumer when a consumer is calling the call center. He also reduces the talk time. So therefore, in a short period of time, you can do a variety of jobs.
And what we have done is we have done this in multiple languages.
This also supports in multi-language in Indian as well as international language.
So you can have Hindi and any of the languages you want. So instructions are there. So it can be used as a self-service by even in a village. You can have a touchpad, put it there. It's in Hindi or Gujarati or Marathi and can be used as a self-service directly.
This can be worked in the rural also so that you can put in the kiosk. People go work as a self-kiosk and they can start using it.
And we have got almost 3,000 plus devices, and every day we add 4 devices to the database to make sure it is updated. Because India, the challenge is new brands coming in, new devices coming in, you have to make sure you are always on the go updating it. And there is a mobile app for the retailers, so they have a step-by-step things, so they can don't need a PC to do things, so they can use a mobile app to support it.
Specifically designed for the field service people who are there on the field.
And this is the BI, like what all people call for. So it's internet settings, you can see the top, but other things, how to browse a site, people don't know. How to default set access point, how to do a clear cache. So small things people ask for. So there has to be a guide which helps them to do it. And this is what the data we got from one of the operators we support, like people who call at our call center and people who do not call at our call center mobile data service. So they found a difference in the ARPU. So people who were getting our support were giving them more value on mobile data services than the people who were not calling us. So it's a 5-month data from an operator in India. So that's the impact of the simulator tool on the revenue part. And one is revenue, other is obviously customer experience. That's why they're using it. The other challenge is about OTA configuration. Presently, like as you said, there are many brands, local brands coming in, which are not identified by the device managers presently. So the challenge is how do you make sure you enable them? And automatically, second is, that's when people would be able to use internet. Like in India, the penetration in urban areas is almost done, and it's the rural part of India, wherein the people would have all these kind of devices, and how do you make sure you enable them? Because automatic device configuration doesn't happen, so you need to do it manually, it is a cost. So what we have done is we have devised a way to make sure we are able to configure those phones. And the other challenge is low technical literacy, because if you ask somebody to do steps on the phone, a guy from a village, tough game. So you need automatic solution where you push your settings and he directly saves it. So what we have done is we offer all kind of settings, from email to WAP to bookmark to video streaming settings. And this is how we do. People call, say, I've got this XYZ handset. It is selected. It's a Nokia or which one, and you can send it directly. So there is no link to the IMI, because normally the device managers works on the IMI identification. And these unbranded phones, the challenge is the IMI part, because they don't have a valid IMI. The device manager would say it is a BlackBerry or iPhone, but in reality it is another phone. So how do you make sure you enable them? And when the customer calls, he knows what phone he has. He will say, I've got a Lava or a Kensingta or XYZ phone. So then what we do is we select the handset brand and model and push it accordingly. And for the Chinese phone, wherein there is no particular, I would say, brand and model, because it comes with any of the brands. So what we do is we have a menu system. So we ask them questions. What do you get in the main menu? So there's a set of menu strings which are there, which tells us, okay, this OTA configuration is required, because we have a database of almost 1,000 plus menu systems with us, because we make sure we test them and we have it in this. So that's the innovative part about it. So people, if it is not recognized, doesn't know the brand and model, at least they can tell us which menus it is. So we'll be able to make sure which OTA compatibility, which OTA would work. Secondly, the other challenge is, for these handsets, you don't have any information, are they internet capable or not. So these menu systems would tell you, yeah, they are. And the best part is, the guys who was using these phones, the phones is the only way to access internet, because PC laptops are way ahead for them. So we make sure we enable them and they use the internet to access the information. And that's what, we use these tools across the operator, so that's how it says almost 45% are calling from unbranded phones. And this is a small activity. So like when you use OTA, it's your talk time goes down, and so you have enough time. So it tells you what all, like, these many calls were answered more using this OTA.
Can I request you, the time limit is over. Okay, please.
And we did a small activity like for unbranded phones, wherein people, if we push the settings, people who were not using the data services but having data enabled phones. So we've almost converted almost 7% of customers who were not using internet started using internet, and giving almost a usage of almost 300 GBs for it's a data from an operator. So that's how it's helping the customer also, it's helping the operator also. And like after this, the challenge is remotely, what you can do remotely. A remote management software is required. But the challenge with remote management is that like all the remote applications use internet, and the basic reason why people call is internet is not working. So what do? So what we have done is we have devised a solution which works over SMS. So at the back end, all the actions are done over SMS. So even when the customer says my internet is not working, we make sure it is corrected using SMS, and we get all this kind of information. Like people would call, I'm unable to download things, I'm unable to use internet, I want to uninstall an application. So you can do all these things remotely. And the other challenge with the other remote controls, wherein you take the real remote control, is the privacy part. People do not like to give you the real control of the phone, because you can see the contacts and everything. So what we do is, it is a semi-remote control. It is a limited remote control. So we specifically only check the data points wherein required for troubleshooting part. And other basic challenge with the internet connectivity for mobile devices, people call from the same device. So how do you give an online solution? But as our app works over SMS, so even when the customer is on the call, we can do it, because SMS works even when you're on the call too. So that's how the screen looks like. And these are the use cases. I'll just take them. So that's the real impact of that. So it's the talk time which decreases, FCR increases, and that's how operators makes money. First, it's a user license kind of thing. So it's operators. We give it to operators. So as of now, almost 15,000 licenses. Yeah.
But it is not connected to any operator.
Oh, but for support, you call the operator. Yeah. No, it's fine. But India, it's an open market. But why do people call it the call center? Because they have the handset. People never call the handset manufacturer's helpline. They always call the operator for internet settings or anything they want to do on a device. Suppose you want to use it as a modem. It depends what kind of, I would say, the people, it's the mass who calls at the call center. People who don't understand much of technology, it's not us who call the call center. It's the people, the general people who call, because they don't have enough. Yeah. Sure, yeah, you will call, I'll say, I want to use internet on my phone, please help. Yeah.
Offline, yes, but I think in that IVR also, before you go to the IVR, I think the third step in that IVR is an option where you can dial 0 and you can reach to the call center. I think that's where people miss that step. So if you dial the 0, you can go to the call center and that's where the call lands to us. So that's where we handle the customer and we tell them that what are the internet settings you need or what are the settings.
And they will tell you how to operate.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, that is the cost cutting drive which the telcos are doing right now, is that if the customer could be handled on the IVR itself. If we have not been handling the IVR, then the call comes to us. So the first point of that, they are trying to see that if the customer can be done on the IVR. If your query is not solved on the IVR, then the call lands to us.
And they will handle it.
Yeah. Like as of now, we answer almost 1.5 lakh calls a day only for tech support across operators in India.
Tell me one thing. Just a second. Don't you think when we are basically working on an environment, when we are working in an environment where reduction of cost is imperative and essential, if I am an operator, somebody who is actually facing a bottleneck in revenue pressures, I will prefer this kind of a solution available on IVR, where I have, because you have shown some figures to me. How many people in rural areas might go for MMS or GPRS or Bluetooth for that matter? Or activating a Bluetooth is a single step process exactly, whether it's a smartphone or any other phone, 2-step, 3-step. So if we have this kind of a solution available on IVR itself in multiple languages, we don't need to go for mom bodies. Sorry for using that term.
That's right. IVR is also asked. There are a couple of operators here besides IVR that ensuring that the operator reduces the cost. In fact, why we are using this access simulator is also that to reduce the talk time. What happens is that previously when you give the entire manual setting, the talk time is to be around 9 minutes. Now by using this tool, the talk time has been shrunk to around 240 seconds. So we have saved that talk time. So by virtue of doing that, it is to us. But the operator is gaining, the consumer is getting a better service.
And secondly, we have an IVR module also for it. So you can call in the call center, you can directly call, select your brand and model. It is a voice recognition IVR. So we'll prompt your brand, prompt your model, and we'll stop, which settings you want.
So no human intervention
No
whatsoever.
human intervention. So that's why I said it is an integrated platform for all kind of channels.
Thank you very much.
I use data card, Photon Plus, and I am traveling. And I get into problem. They say contact 121. I just can't ring because I don't have a cell phone. It's only a data card hooked on to Vodafone Plus, hooked on to my laptop. So the whole exercise becomes futile. What? That for data card, that's a challenge.
Alternate is that you can call the number number.
No, but that is, you have to have another number.
That's a challenge with the data card because it doesn't have OEM.
Yeah, fine.
That's why designed.
That's the reason, like, that's another fight which we are already, looking at it is that a data card consumer is a silent churn.
Yeah.
Because if he churns out, nobody comes to know because, all of a sudden he is not working. There is no medium that I can call him back.
Exactly.
Yeah, we will be working on it.
But in case the solution is very simple, as far as I understand, for a data card, he always has a laptop screen in front of him. Why not an offline module that covers everything?
What happens is that when you come to know that when you stop working on it, so that's the reason you stop working. That's the reason we are not plugged in.
Exactly.
If you are plugged in, you are connected to him. You are communicating with him. If you are not plugging in that data card, you are not communicating with him.
Precisely.
So that's where you are. I can reach to him. I can't call him. That's it.
But there's a challenge for you.
Next year, maybe we'll come out with something for that. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Just a quick question.
Yeah, sure.
What about other devices? I mean, you work across tablets?
Yes.
Tablets and everything?
Yes.
There are various apps, which can optimize diagnostics and
So we more of work with device management per se for correcting settings to application installation, uninstallation, not on optimizing of battery and all.
Okay. So it's basically parameter optimization and all that you do. Setting up.
And another is for security, like for enterprises, the same solution can be used wherein you can remotely manage your devices. Of the field guys, you can remotely lock a device, wipe a device, do a remote installation of the application. You don't need to ask people to come to you and do it. So that's
Focus on conformity rather than performance so much. You don't focus on performance so much at the moment.
Performance, like the application, wherein when we make it and when we test it, there is like a set of tests which it goes through, like make sure it doesn't consume more of CPU or RAM. But that's when otherwise it's no use. The consumers would not use it.